àbọ̀rù bọ̀yé ẹ̀yin babaláwo èèyàn ìbọ̀rù bọ̀yé ó yàn.
Aboro boys, this is a little Fakulade of Idinkai Temple. We welcome you. So today we're doing our Itadogun. So Itadogun is a periodic divination and a bow that we perform every 17 days to ensure safety, protection, and all those wonderful things for our group. So those of you who would like to participate, you are here with us and you're joining us now. So thank you for tapping in. So I'm going to angle the camera down so that you can see what we're doing. Oops. All right. If I become casting these colonnades for all the members of the Dinka Ifa Temple, please, what our death, what our sickness, cases, controversy, what our fights, litigation, losses, and our advice from us, grateful to us, long life, wealth, spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, success, and all the things of life and shit. Do you accept this Orobo so you reach your public? Remove that, remove sickness, cases, controversy. What are fights, litigation, losses, our advice, witchcraft, and negative energy from us. Grateful to us on life, wealth, responsible children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, good health, healing, and all the things of life. We accept this Orobo so we reach you. I'll be Orobo. Asha. Now that we've fed you with these Orobo, now our next 17 days be ready. Please, if I remove death from us, remove illness from us, remove cases and controversy, what are fights, litigation, losses, our advice from us, support us in all aspects. For the next 17 days, be ready. Ashe. Ashe, right? Push with all that joke. With all the e-rays for all the members at this time. What birthday and if I'm from Roma, apples are sipping the apple, apples are enjoying the making of that ball. What choice you can drink over to Zikum by Casper. I will drink Silicon Success. Sure. Hey, good to see you all at Karo, Abora, Aboya, Boshishe. Thank you for joining us, Boshisha Boto, Iafadeke. Thank you for joining us once again. So today we're going to be casting our Itadogun. So please, just pray. Pray for Iran and all good things of life to be added to members of the Dinka today. And let us go. Ifa, when Ifa, become casting Ifa for the members of Idinka Temple for our Itadogun. Ifa, please ward off our death, ward off our sickness, cases, controversy, ward off fight, litigation, losses, our advice, ward off witchcraft and negative energy from us. Support Catherine and Lucille, Robert and Kathy, Taylor, and Rebecca, Zaire, Montelo, Delano, Montelo, Zayden, Montelo, Zaire, Montelo, Catherine and Lucille, support Tanda Cecil, support Maisha Walker, Dino, Margaret, support Sands, Shamila, support Mark Anthony, Merced, support Ifadara support Jessica Blanco, support all the members that contribute, everyone who has contributed to the Itadogun, help them to be blessed and supported. Ashe. Bring forth to us all good things black. If I do not see a sinner, there's no one is just not to be able to tell my responsibility. Word of God. Take all of our tendencies. It's gotta. What is the audio? Rete Meji. Rete Meji. Does this Rete Meji come and be read? Swag. You read? Very cool. Don't worry. It's already this side. Ajay. Ogbadi. Ire Aje. Ifa, what is it? Is it Aje Tutu? Aje Nina. The word Jawosa. Aje Nina. Is it with a ball? Akulabo. That is Aje Nina will become Aje Tutu. Idikawa. It is through a ball. Okay. Eratemechi. So, boy, everyone, the Odu that we have received is called Erete Mechi or Ejirete. We come with the Ire of Aje or money. Ifa says that the money is going to be in the form of money that will be spent. So, the messages generally, so I would say general messages for Erete Mechi are as follows. One, Ifa says that at this time we will be able to climb the tree of success, wealth, and prosperity. There are barriers in our way, but if we move with Ifa, we will be able to overcome all barriers in our way that will be trying to keep us from success. We will be able to be very, very, very successful. Very, very successful. Ifa says that one other thing today that will be very blessed for us is that we need to move in a way where we are in tune and in alignment with our destiny. What does that mean? In general, that means many of us are either ahead of our destiny or behind our destiny. How does that look? It looks like either being too early to appointments or late for appointments. That's in general what this is talking about. Either too early for appointments, too late for appointments, um, distracted. Ifa says that what we need to do is get our feet and our head in alignment so that the things that we want will be able to manifest the way that we like them to. Along with this, as Ifa is saying that we need to get our feet, legs in alignment with our head. What also needs to occur is for us to be very aware and very protective of our legs, feet, ankles for the next 17 days, because there's a high probability of either having injury to those areas swelling, but with proper EPO, things should go very, very, very well. Very well for us. In terms of that, along with this Odu, Ifa says that we need to be very aware and very mindful of continuing to do what's right, even though individuals like around us may be persecuting us, bringing problems against us. We need to be very careful and very aware so that we can protect ourselves. This is the Odu where Orunmila was married to Oshun. And what was occurring is that the Iyami had come into the community, or they were part of the community, and they were doing various forms of negativity, like when children would get sick, the Iyami would ensure that they would die. When women got pregnant, they would ensure that these women did not give birth to babies. If a person had money at a certain point in time, the Iyami would make sure that that person would go broke. And because the Iyami were also women within the community, what was also happening is that many people around didn't know who to suspect. What was the cause? What was the reason for the problem? And Oshun was able to decipher and discover that it was the Iyami who were the problem all along. And as Oshun had discovered this, and she saw this, and she was sharing it with Orunmila, the Iyami also noticed this, and then they persecuted Oshun. And the way that they began to persecute Oshun was they began to spread rumors that Oshun was actually the individual who was causing all the problems. And people began to persecute her, and by proxy, they also began to persecute Orunmila. So Orunmila cast Ifa, and he offered the Abo, he offered the Apese, and he fed Eshu. And doing all of these things, what ended up happening is there was a day when all of these individuals were revealed. Eshu put himself in a very strategic position and began to provoke these Iyami. And he provoked them to the degree where they were having their meeting, and they began to admit their guilt. They began to admit the things that they had done wrong to each other in the form of an argument. So they were arguing amongst themselves and saying what they had done. Eshu then provoked the townspeople. Hey, there's the people who are responsible for the deaths of your loved ones, for the poverty. They are all discussing what has happened. So the townspeople gathered, and they were outside of the building where the Iyami were meeting, and they were hearing that the Iyami were admitting to, well, I was the one who killed such and such for you. Well, I was the one who made sure that the woman that your ex-husband got with didn't have a baby. And they began to admit all of these wrongdoings and all of these bad things. And the townspeople heard it, and they realized that it was not Oshun who was indeed the problem. It was indeed these Iyamis. So they converged upon them and destroyed them. What this Odu is also saying is that Oshun is not a witch. Oshun will never persecute a person to the point of harming their children. So Ifa is saying, one, Oshun's not a witch. Two, Oshun sought Ifa's assistance. And what Ifa is also saying in this is that we need to be very mindful that we should seek Ifa's assistance, Ifa's protection, and continue to do what is correct and what is right, no matter the amount of persecution that we're receiving by negative people within the community, because there can be false information, false narratives, and basically lies that can be placed upon us. People can be lying on members of this temple. But if we can stay in alignment and in tune with Ifa, we'll be able to definitely overcome all of these challenges. Along with this, Ifa says this is also the story where the people of, I think it was Otu Ife, converged and beat Eshu, and they tore Obatala's garment to the point where both Obatala, Eshu, and Orunmila went into the deep forest. And when they went into the deep forest, what occurred is that because of the people's aggressiveness, disobedience, insolence with these Irumole, the world began to shrivel up. So the resources began to dry. It got to the point where people, instead of using their ikin to cast Ifa, they were eating the kernels inside because food was so sparse. There were no rats, there were no fish, not the natural livestock and vegetation even began to dwindle. There were no babalaos left because many of the babalaos had died. So the townspeople searched and searched and searched. They found one babalao in a distant town. He cast Ifa for them and said that they needed to offer a bow, I believe, with deer. So they had to go way off into the bush to find deer. And as they did this, they came upon a hut. And even in the midst of what they were doing and experiencing, they acted aggressively toward this house, this hut. And Obatala, Eshu, and Orunmila were in the hut. And what ended up occurring is that Obatala began to say, all right, since you've been so disobedient, so wrong, so egregious, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ensure that the livestock, there is no livestock. There are no rats, there are no fish, there are no birds, there are no beasts. You bad humans can live amongst the desolateness, if that's a word. So Obatala said this, and the world began, it was already dried up, but began to dry up even more. And it was only until Orunmila convinced him what we need to do is, in essence, have mercy and compassion on the humans because they were wrong. They tore your garment. They beat Eshu. They were wrong and they were out of balance. But it is only if we allow the world to live that they will be able to get in balance because they will offer rat, offer fish, offer birds, offer beasts as abo materials, as things to get back into attunement and an alignment. I would say in terms of this, we need to, there's so many messages on this. One, we need to work in alignment with the Orisha, with the Irumole, and do our very best to listen. This is an Odu that also speaks of initiation to Ifa. So those of you who really want to be initiated to Ifa, now's the time to begin the process of saving your money, um, trying to figure out about opening the door of initiation. But Ifa is saying people need to move closer to Ifa, move closer to the Irumole. And in terms of that, moving closer to the Irumole will in turn assist us in being in alignment with our destinies. And also, please do not pollute the environment. Do not pollute your personal environment. Do not pollute the external environment of the world. Ifa is saying so many things. And last but not least, I want to make sure people understand that if you are in a relationship, it is good for us to be in relationships. It is good for us to be in relationships at this time, in a relationship at this time, and it is good for us to legitimize those relationships. What I mean by that is marriage is good. Marriage is a good thing on this Odu. If you are in a relationship with a person and you are not married and you feel like you should be married, now is the time to begin the discussion. We should legitimize this relationship and bring the blessings of Ifa, bring the blessings of the Irumole into this relationship at this time. This is definitely an Odu of making those relationships more formal and making them solemn and making them legal. That is something that will definitely protect us at this time. Also, last but not least, some ebo and homework that you can do on your own wherever you are at. This Odu says that we will be moving amongst the movers and shakers of the world. This Odu says wealth, but we'll be moving amongst those individuals who are movers and shakers in the world, people who are celebrities, governors, politicians. Now is the time that we as Idinkai Ifa Temple will be amongst those folks. Ifa says that it is very important for us, if you can, to put on all of the clothes that you have in your closet. And what that basically means is take one garment on, take it off, put on the next one, put on the next one, all those things. Because Ifa is saying that we'll be like the chameleon. We'll be able to kind of move, shake, and adjust and be in environments where there will be influential people who will be able to assist us in not only our growth and development, but also in actualizing our destiny. So let me see what Ifa suggests as Ebo at this time. Okay, Ifa, Ebo. Should we offer Ikwese with Ebo? Offer Ebo with one he goat, animal bones, corn grains, corn chaff, corn peel, all of those things. We offer Ebo with that, and Ikwese with pommel, and also offer Ebo with 3 pigeons for what? Or no? For all the members. são atire. Atire. Okay. Ebo Higo. 3 pigeons. Okay, very good. All right, so let us perform Taibo Eshu. You know, if I what is the apple money? Apple money. Um, one apple money, $80. $80. Okay. All righty then. Let's imagine. One show big Kishma. Oh shit, I realize. All right, so those of you who would like to participate in Itadogun, please send the OWO. All the information is under the screen, right here at the bottom of the screen. It is $40 per family. Those people who are members who have paid the membership fee, you are covered. So, yes. All right. Oromila. Oromila, Sorodayo. If I will come offering Taibo Eshu for all the members, it didn't kind of. The Lord of the room says, let us gather the so let's gather the no one gather the tools you survive. When the email gather the tools you survive, no one gather the tools you survive. Yeah, that's from why did you buy this? Put off all evil danger from us at the Dinkai for Temple. Bring forth to us all good things of life. Support Captain Omonuso, Robert Omokati, if I dominino Modever, Zaire Omo, if I dominino Solani Omo, if I dominino Zebo, if I dominino Facola de Omokati, Fadeka Omokati, Robert Omokati McCord, Tanda Caesar, Shamango Manis Decree, Maisha, Omo Margaret, Mark Anthony, Omo Merced, support Sandra Omo Shamila, support Jessica Blanco, support Fadara, support all of the members of the Kaifa Temple, those names that I've mentioned and those names that I did not mention, and especially if I was asked for support for all those who have contributed and will contribute to this album. Rete Meji, you mark one leg of Rete. I mark the other leg of Rete. When the marks come true, the true Rete is from the C5 cast where he has a good head but lacks favorable legs. He was advised several. He complied. Now, when I king, Irigialo, please let me have a good head with good legs to carry me. Share if I help us to all have a good head with good legs to carry us. I shake from Monica Bofin, Monica Bodai, from Monica Bola the fish. What you find? Rete Meji. Let their harmony with the husband, let their harmony with the wife. This is if I cast 4. Urge Karajek Bay the squirrel when he was going to snatch away the wife of Iku and use 6 colonets as perpetration materials. His advice he complied. None. Completely shall we snatch away the wife of Iku. If I help us to have harmony in our relationships, husband and wife and husband. God, direct and protect and keep us safe, healthy, and keep us whole. Ashe, 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 ashe. Ifa, become propitiated. Please, we pray for death so death will not affect us. We pray for sickness so sickness will not tie us down. We pray for losses so losses will not affect us. We pray for fights. We pray for witchcraft so witchcraft will not affect us. We pray for danger so danger will not affect us. We pray for tragedy so tragedy will not befall us. We pray for all negative energy so those things will not happen to us. We pray for life. We pray for a good spouse. We pray for good children. Pray for peace of mind. Pray for healing of our parents. We pray for healing of our children. We pray for our own personal healing. We pray to have lots of money and wealth for ourselves. We pray to have joy, reasons to smile. We pray to have a stable home. We pray to have bills that we can pay. We pray to have the money to pay all of our bills. We pay to get out of all debt. We pay to have joy with our loved ones. We pay to all erase. That was a smooth apple. Making it apple. Oh, tools you can drink, I read tools you can buy. That's about for instance. I was just all right. So, we'll be offering the elbow. Those of you who are interested, who want to be part of the temple, you can definitely support by offering your elbow. And just tuning in this Sunday, we have our Ile Juba temple service. We're going to be talking about blessings, the burden of a blessing, and also managing those blessings. So please join in with us this Sunday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, after temple service, we're going to have a great discussion, Ifa class on the subject of healing the Black family, utilizing Ifa as a means of healing the Black family. We're going to talk about marriage and children, marriage relationships, children, and working with all of those wonderful things. So if you're not in a relationship, how do we get into a relationship? How do we maintain those relationships? What are things that husband and wife need to do for each other, not just for children? So we're going to be talking about a lot of those things. And what does Ifa say? So please join us. And thank you once again. I'm going to be placing this down in front of Eshu and making prayers for our temple members. Thank you once again. And we'll see you this Sunday. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishi.